Very good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests in the room.
Good evening.
Starting off with the business session for today's meeting, I'll start with the first update that I have from my side. From the Vice President Education, Toastmaster Bhavana's side. And this is the role takers update for next week. So, 2 speech slots have been booked, one by Toastmaster Chetan and the other by Toastmaster Jia respectively. And 1 evaluator slot has been booked by Toastmaster Rachana. Apart from this, all the other roles are open. If you are interested in taking up any role, please contact Toastmaster Bhavana for the same. The second announcement I have is about an award that Mekon Communication Club has recently achieved. So this award is called the Fast and Fabulous 5. And the criteria for this was to achieve 5 DCP points by the 31st of October. And I'm glad to say that Mekon Communication Club has achieved all the 5 points and become a distinguished club achieving this award. So let us recognize this with a good round of applause. And of course, the credits for this award has to go to our VP Education, Toastmaster Bhavana, and to every member who's given speeches in the past 4 months. It is indirectly because of you that we have achieved these points, and of course to the treasurer and every EC member who's attended trainings, etc., leading to those 5 DCP points. So with that, we can conclude the business session. Over to the sergeant.
Will Brady was a former software engineer who somehow made it to Hollywood. In 2005, he met Chuck Lorre, and the two of them started discussing the oddballs that Bill had met during his software engineering career. These were the kind of guys who could launch a satellite, but would struggle to converse with a woman or tip a waitress. And the two of them decided this was the perfect opportunity to make a show because there was nothing else like that on the market. So quickly they wrote up a script and hired a few actors. And then they thought this entire thing was going to become a simple formality that they could just get away with. And they went to the studio and debuted this entire thing. But the audience absolutely hated it. They hated every minute of what happened there. So, what was the problem? Turns out that Chuck and Bill had designed their characters to be bad at communicating. In fact, they were so bad at communicating, the audience didn't understand them. And they went back to the drawing board to come up with 2 solutions for this. First, they hired a new actress, a struggling waitress, to join our smart engineers. And secondly, they asked the actors to start communicating better. And what that means is to start matching each other's emotions, energies, and actions. And by doing that, the audience was able to intuit exactly what was going on. And once they tried this out, the debut episode of the Big Bang Theory was born in 2006. That show went on to hit record boxes and had over 20 million views at the end of it. So dear Toastmasters, sometimes you'll have an idea and it won't work out well. But remember that you can always come back and work on it, and it might be much better than you had ever done. With that, I would like to hand it over to the man who encourages all such ideas at Mekon Communication Club. He's an avid quizzer, a healthy reader, he's an athlete, and he's a leader. He's our leader. Please welcome the president of Mekon Communication Club, Shivaprasad.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Chetan, for that introduction. Once again, good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and guests in the room. So, if this were a TV show, we'd begin by introducing the judges. But since this is a Toastmasters meeting, the most important people in our room become our guests who are visiting us to get a taste of what a Toastmasters meeting is like. So, to all our guests in the room, I request you, when I call you out, just stand up from wherever you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do outside, and how you've come to know about our club. And so let us start with Bindumathi here. Yes.
Hi, good evening everyone. It's nice nice to be here. I work for CJ as a lead business analyst. And how did I come to know? Because I was looking for a speech to give, so I googled it and I got it. So that's about it. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi everyone, I'm Apoorva and I'm a fashion designer and I work with a fashion label called Bindumathi. And I'm here with my friend Gajendra. He keeps talking about Toastmasters. Gajendra. Sorry, Gajendra. He's Gaju for us and I'm here to learn about this. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Jyothi and I am a HR at Infosys and I'm sister to Gajendra and and I just wanted to see him speak live because we hear him at home and sometimes I don't believe when he says that he has a lot to speak here, so I'm always surprised, so I just wanted to get a first-hand experience, so I'm here today.
Hi, I'm Anirudh. So yeah, I'm in real estate and he's been talking about this a lot, so thought I might as well come and check it out.
Yes.
Good evening everyone. This is Divya here. I am from a small town in central Mumbai and right now I am, it was 2 years ago when I decided that I want to head towards spirituality, and right now I am in training with the Jain monk in Veerabhadhrappa, Bangalore, and I am introduced to Toastmasters through my friend Jia. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm myself Sampreet from the. I'm a student. I'm a final year student of PS University. So I came to know about this club from my family.
Right. A hearty welcome to all our guests and a special thank you to Gajendra for bringing all his friends. With that, let us have the minutes of the previous meeting number 1287 from our Associate Secretary Toastmaster Chetan.
Last week was 21st of October, where we met at 6:27 p.m. The theme of last week was knowledge is power. The word of the week was copacetic, and we had two announcements during the business session. First, the speech slots that were booked, and second were the results of the area contest. Sergeant at Arms Bhavana opened the meeting, handed over the charge to Toastmaster and President Shivaprasad. He spoke on the theme and then introduced the Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Chetan. I spoke on the theme and then introduced our first speaker, Toastmaster Madhusudhan. And then our second speaker for the day was Toastmaster Mamta. A table topic session was conducted by Toastmaster Monish. We had a break for 10 minutes, and then the general evaluation was conducted by Toastmaster Jyothi. The evaluators for last week were Toastmaster Saketh, evaluating Toastmaster Madhusudhan's speech, and Distinguished Toastmaster U Bhat, evaluating Toastmaster Mamta's speech. Our TAPG team for last week was Timer Toastmaster Apoorva, our counter Toastmaster Rachana, TP evaluator Toastmaster Veerabhadhrappa, and Grammarian Toastmaster Shreya. The winners of last week were Best Table Topic Speaker Toastmaster Gajendra, Best Speaker Toastmaster Madhusudan, Best Evaluator Toastmaster Saketh, Best MTG Role Taker Toastmaster Chetan, and Best TAPG Evaluator Toastmaster Shreya for Grammarian. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetan. Are there any changes proposed to the minutes of the previous meeting? If not, I shall consider them as accepted and open meeting number 1288. Television, the gateway to the dreams of millions of kids who grew up watching it or watching shows on it in the past 3 or 4 decades, and even now as well. Well, this is what I would say, not what my parents would say or most Indian parents would say. They would say you are wasting a lot of time watching television. Instead, it would be better if you were doing your homework right now. You won't be that successful in life. And they were partially right. What I used to do, I used to watch television the entire day after coming back from school or play games on my computer. And the next morning, I would remember what homework there was. And I'd tell my parents, I have to take an India map to school today. Somehow we have to buy it on the way. And therefore they would be angry about me watching television. Well, I am someone who grew up in the 2000s watching the standard shows that most kids my age would have watched, CID in Hindi, or the Hindi version of Doraemon, or all these dubbed shows. And when you come to English, Phineas and Ferb, Tom and Jerry, Scooby-Doo, the standard ones. And when you come to Kannada, the OG court drama like Mukta, that 10-year-old kids used to sit and watch diligently. And of course, many other shows, animes in Japanese, etc. And there was this one standard show that became universally acclaimed that people all over the world would have watched, of all ages, Mr. Bean. Without saying a single word, he made people laugh all across the globe. But there's another show that is as popular as Mr. Bean, might be not as well known, but equally acclaimed across the globe. And this is a game show that was filmed in Japan in the late 1980s. And then dubbed into various languages and exported to all the countries across the world and became a cult famous, including in India, in Hindi. I'm sure a lot of you have that show's name in your head. So give me a raise of hands if you watched Takeshi's Castle. Right? And for those who are not aware what Takeshi's Castle is, it's an outrageous game show where contestants are required to do physical tasks and move through levels game after game after game. And a lot of it is based on strength, luck, difficulty. And the games were so outrageous and so difficult that although we Indians enjoyed it through Javed Jaffri's commentary, we would often imagine, how did people take this thing up in the first place? Why are they even participating? I'm sure a lot of people are breaking their skulls here, breaking their bones, they are falling down into the water, and who knows what else they are breaking. Imagine walking through, trying to cross a river, and you're trying to skip stones, a few of those stones give way and you fall into the river. Or you're falling down across a mountain on a slippery slope with nothing to hold on. Or you're trying to cross a bridge that is way high up in the sky while somebody is shooting cannonballs at you. Absolutely insane physical tasks. But what I learned while preparing for this speech is that Takeshi's Castle is not just a TV show. It is a show that tells you about resilience. Every single day, all of us here, we wake up, we go through the streets and we see people running mindlessly doing their tasks. Not just on the streets, in your entire life. People are doing whatever they are doing and we think they know the way. A lot of them don't know where they are going at all. But they are going there nevertheless. And the harsh truth is, many of them will fall down along the way. Many of them will get back up and many of them will be fatally wounded as well. Well, if Takeshi's Castle was a show good enough to teach you resilience, think of all the other shows that kids grew up watching on TV, and that shows you how important television was. Maybe a show like CID would have encouraged so many kids, although it was humorous, to take up roles of police officers, of investigators. Maybe a show like Dragon Ball or Naruto would have given people the idea that you should never give up in life and keep forging ahead. And many other shows in this format would have taken us to a different level in our life and become part of our identities. And we would have identified with the characters shown on these shows and they would have become a part of us. And that is how much of an impact I believe that TV shows have had on people who grew up watching them. Not so much as your Indian parents would like to have you believe. And speaking of TV shows, there is this one extremely popular Hindi soap opera called Kyunki Saas Bhi Kabhi Bahu Thi. And there is one person in our room who's become a bahu a few years ago. And she's someone who enjoys playing sports like badminton, basketball, cricket, and table tennis. And and she believes a day without working out is a day wasted. At the same time, she's also a big time foodie. You go to any eatery in Bangalore and she probably knows what you ate there. She's that kind of a person, and she enjoys going on treks, adventure sports, and she's come to Toastmasters to become a more confident speaker. Please give it up for our Master of Ceremonies, Toastmaster Apoorva.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shiva, for this wonderful introduction. Can you believe what just happened the other day? My maid was on a phone call. She was agitated, frustrated, and angry than usual. So I just lent my ear to hear what she was speaking. And she goes, "Ee Monica, inta ಹೆಂಗಸು ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಒಂದಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ದಲ್ಲ 3 ಜನನ ಸಾಯಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆರಾಮಾಗಿದ್ದಾಳೆ." I was like, for those who didn't understand, they were speaking about some Monica who has killed 3 people and is living peacefully. I was like confused and was wondering what was happening. And that's when I asked her what was that, and she goes that she was speaking about the TV show she watches. That she was so engrossed in it that she was speaking to a friend for 30 minutes bitching about a character. And this little incident was the inspiration for today's theme. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
From Earth, Fire, Wind, Planet to क्योंकि सांस भी कभी बहुती, then to I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour, I'll be there for you. This was a quick recap of my entire life. From coming back from school all excited and quickly getting freshened up just to watch my favorite cartoon show, be it Captain Planet, Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z. Then came the phase where I used to sit with my parents and my sibling and watch all these Hindi serials. Then came the phase where I was watching English sitcoms like Big Bang Theory, Friends, Shark Tank, etc. When I look back, I realize that TV shows has impacted me in such a way that it has almost influenced my likes and dislikes. As I grew up in life, TV shows has also helped me evolve. It has influenced me in such an extent that I am a person who likes comedy or a person who likes dance just because of the TV shows I have watched. Just like TV shows, just like TV shows, a good speaker captivates and engrosses its audience through storytelling. And R.C. Smedley knew this little secret and started Toastmasters to help people like you and me in the year 1924 at Santa Ana, California. Today, Toastmasters is a global network with over 270 plus members across 148 countries with 14,200 plus member clubs. And one such club is our Mekong Communication Club, which has a legacy over 25 years. For the benefit of the guest, a typical Toastmaster meeting is almost like a mini TV show with 3 episodes. Episode 1 is the prepared speech session. Here the speaker is prepared well in advance based on the project guidelines and gives prepared speeches which is evaluated later during the session. Next, episode 2 is the table topic session where the speakers are chosen at random and given topics on the spot to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. And the finale, episode 3 is the general evaluation session where the entire proceedings of the meeting is been evaluated. Just like the director of the TV show as his crew to support him, today we have the TAPG role takers to ensure smooth proceedings of the meeting. Just like the timing is everything, and if the show is too long, it gets boring. To ensure this, we have the timer, Toastmaster Madhusudan.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. I'll be the timer today, and as Toastmaster Apoorva said, I'll be saying cut, or rather not. So, there are 3 prepared speakers today, and all of them will get 5 to 7 minutes to speak. At the 5-minute mark, I'll be raising the green card. At the 6-minute mark, the yellow card, and at the 7-minute mark, the red card. And for the table topic speakers, each person gets 1 to 2 minutes maximum. At 1 minute, I'll be raising the green card. At 1.5 minutes, I'll be raising the yellow card, and at 2 minutes, the red card. The evaluators get 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will be raising the green card. At 2.5 minutes, the yellow card, and at 3 minutes, the red card. Post this, each speaker will get 30 minutes to finish up their speech. So please, I suggest everyone to stick to the timing, and I'll give my report at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Madhusudan. Too many hours and might make a show very boring. And to ensure that, we have our counter today, Toastmaster Veerabhadhrappa.
Good evening, Toastmasters and welcome guests. My role is our counter. The speaker who goes behind the lectern must speak in such a way like a water flow, clear and crystal water flows. You should not use any of the clutch words like repeated words, pauses, and all those things. You should not use it. I make a note of these things and report when I called for the doing so. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster Veerabhadhrappa. Like our sergeant, Toastmaster Chetan mentioned, if the sentences doesn't make sense, it's of no use. The show is not going to run. So we have our Grammarian, Toastmaster Jia.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am the Grammarian for today's meeting, or I'd like to call it the word wizard. My role is to pay attention to the grammar, the vocabulary and the language usages, and I'll be noting down the good usages as well as not so good usages, any areas of improvement, and will be giving the report during the general evaluation session. And it is also my responsibility to introduce the word of the day. Word of the week is be holden, meaning owning, thanks or having a duty to someone in return for help or service. One of the usages is I'm beholden to my friend for helping me cross the canyon. I'll encourage everyone to incorporate this word into your speeches. Thank you and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jia. We don't want any controversy during our show. So hence we have the Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator, Toastmaster Chetan.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. There are 3 simple rules that we follow in each meeting. First, we avoid talk of sex, politics and religion. Second, for anyone who wants to enter or exit, please do so during the applause. And third, keep your phones on silent or switch them off. Thank you.
The first episode or the pilot plays a very important role in turning a show into a super hit. So let's not wait any further. Let's quickly jump into the first episode, the prepared speech session. Before I call upon the first speaker, I request the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Shreya, to read out the project guidelines.
Purpose statement. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice using vocal variety or body language to enhance his speech. Notes for the evaluator. During the completion of this project, the member has spent time learning about and practicing their body language, including gestures and other non-verbal communication, along with their vocal variety, including pace, tone, pitch, and volume. About the speech, the member will present a well-organized speech on any topic. Watch for the member's awareness of their intentional and unintentional movement and body language. Note distracting movements as well as movements that enhance the speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. Use this evaluation for speakers who have indicated that they want to be evaluated on body language or vocal variety. If the member has indicated that they only want to be evaluated on vocal variety, please use the speech profile available on Basecamp. Thank you and good luck.
The first speaker of the day has completed a master's from NYU. She has worked as an applied research engineer. She enjoys hiking and reading. Her favorite show is Schitt's Creek. Attempting level 1 project 3 presentation mastery with a speech titled The Other Titanic. Let's hear it for Toastmaster Rachana. The Titanic Toastmaster Rachana. One summer evening in May 2019, I found myself questioning many decisions in my life so far. I was on a small boat in the middle of a wide river, all alone in the boat, and I was about to ram straight into a huge stone bridge. Questions rushed through my head. Why did I get on this boat? Weren't there a million other things I could have done with my time? There are so many other safer hobbies. Knitting, reading, writing. How on earth did I get here? Good evening, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. So, how did I get there on my own mini Titanic? It all started in the April of that year. I had just completed 1 year at my very first job in Boston. I was in a new city. I had finally moved into my own tiny little apartment. I had made 1 or 2 friends, and I wasn't frozen with nerves every time I saw my manager in the office. Can anyone tell me if you've been through this, where you're in the office, you're doing your job, and you're just sitting typing away at your laptop? All of a sudden, you sense your manager just behind you. And at that point, your fingers forget that they know how to type. Your fingers feel like big fat drumsticks. Has that ever happened to anyone? Okay. So that used to happen to me a lot. But eventually, after a year, I got over it. And consequently, because of all these small wins, I felt that I had finally found my place in this new city. I was surviving. And so, that April, I finally had the time, the mental energy, and the resources to pursue a skill that I had wanted to for a long time. On evening walks along the Charles River that runs along Boston, I would see these tiny little boats speeding down the river, their white sails flapping in the breeze. Storybook perfect against a blue sky and navy waters. The thought of helming my own boat, the wind rushing through my hair, I couldn't wait to get in one. And so I started. There were classes to take, rope knots to memorize, certifications to earn. And what I was essentially learning was how to pilot a small 15-foot boat, a sailboat, a motorless boat. And the boat consists of 3 things: one big sail, a couple of ropes to control that sail, and a rudder to steer or to direct the boat in the direction you want. And so finally, after all of this, I was ready. I finally had the license to take myself out on the river all alone in a small boat. And so, one hot summer evening in May, I set out. I rented out a small blue boat and I set off on the water all by myself. The first thing I realized, was that while helming my own boat was exhilarating, it was 10 times as terrifying. There were so many things to keep track of. The wind, the sails, the rudder, the ropes. I was overwhelmed and confused. Amidst all of this overwhelming confusion, I realized I had forgotten one crucial thing to keep track of: the direction the boat was headed in. At some point, I looked up and I realized I was speeding merrily along straight towards a 150-year-old stone bridge. In my panic, all I could do was freeze and stare up in horror as the bridge loomed closer and closer to me. All the things I'd learned in my lessons rushed out of my head. Finally, the one thing I dreaded happened. My boat hit the bridge with a loud thunk, the sail whacked against the top portion of the bridge, and we rocked vigorously left to right. But, unlike the Titanic, I didn't fall overboard. Eventually, after a lot of frantic arm waving and shouts for help, a rescue boat came up and towed me out. Despite that rough start, I came back the very next day, the next, and the next. After a while, once I gained some confidence and experience, it confirmed one suspicion I had from the very beginning, that cruising down the middle of the river with no one in sight, holding tight to the rope and watching where I was going, and the wind rushing through my hair was the best feeling ever. Pushing myself out onto the water that summer gave me the confidence that in life and work and other things, that I could try new things, I could learn and enjoy new and unfamiliar things. In fact, I even started taking Taekwondo and asserting myself at work better because of this. You could say, in another word, I was beholden to sailing because it gave me my confidence. Essentially, after that summer, I was no longer just surviving, I was thriving. Thank you. That was a speech filled with drama and suspense. I must say, Toastmaster Rachana reminds me of Bubbles from the Powerpuff Girls. This classes and the way she speaks, the way she presents herself, reminds me of Bubbles. Thank you, Toastmaster Rachana. Next, I would like to call upon the individual evaluator, Toastmaster Saketh, to speak to read the project guidance.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. The purpose statement. The purpose of this project is to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during the club meeting. The purpose of this speech is for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. Notes for the evaluator, that's me. If you know you will be the evaluator ahead of the meeting, communicate with the speaker to learn about them and their goals for the first evaluation and feedback project speech. Be sure to set aside enough time in your schedule to meet with the speaker after the speech to review the evaluation and answer any questions they may have. Member has spent time writing a speech to present at a club meeting. About the speech, the member will deliver a well-organized speech on any topic. Focus on the member's speaking style. Be sure to recommend improvements that the member can apply to the next speech. The speech may be humorous, informational, or any style the member chooses. The member will ask you to evaluate their second speech at a future meeting. Thank you and all the best to the speaker.
second speaker of the day has completed his BBA from PES University. He is currently preparing for his CAT exams. He loves playing badminton. He is also one of the brand ambassador for Mekong, who constantly gets his friends to attend our meetings. His favorite TV show is How I Met Your Mother. Attempting level 1, project 4, engaging humor with the speech title, Change is the Only Constant, Toastmaster Gajendra. Change is the only constant, Toastmaster Gajendra.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests present here, and my family members. You all know me as Gajendra Gowda, easily the funniest guy in all your lives. Yeah, I take that credit. But who I am today is because of who I wasn't yesterday. Let that sink in. It's because change is the only constant. The greatest historical event occurred on March 5th, 2002, when the funniest guy of all your life was born. I was born and I was named Nishant. But due to a health condition called hyperglycemia, which means calcium deficiency, a person advised my mom to change my name to Gajendra because the name had a very powerful meaning to it. Miraculously, it worked and I was healed, and there I was named Gajendra and Prashanth. Yeah. I don't know how I was back then, but according to my relatives, it was really easy to take care of me, unlike the kids we see nowadays who keep crying and shouting. Moving forward to when I turned 8, my mom changed my name to A. Gajendra Gowda. The A stood for Asha, being my mother's name, and Gowda was from my mom's side. This happened after the divorce for obvious reasons. Moving forward to when I turned 13, a person advised my mom to change my name to A.G. Gajendra Kumar. The A.G. here stood for Arundhati Gowda. My mom changed her name as well. And I don't know why the Kumar came. I still don't know why the Kumar is there. This name change occurred because according to that person, having a big name would make me achieve something big in life. Well, jokes on him. I've achieved nothing as of now. Moving forward, when I turned 17, this time I didn't like my name. I'm like, Ma, I just want to change my name one more time. Let it be Gajendra Gowda. And by the time this entire process, she said yes, like let's change it. I was already 18. So for me to change my name, I had to go through the court sessions. After a lot of court drama, my name was finally Gajendra Gowda. After this entire thing happened, I realized two things in life. One thing is that change is the only constant in our life. And second thing was that I should never let my mom take any random person's advice. Now, why do you want to talk about a random person when you can talk about our own friends? We have a lot of friends who we meet very irregularly. And every time we meet them, the one thing they say after a long time, they'll be like, dude, you've changed. Bro, you've changed. I have a friend like that as well. His name is Saketh. And I meet him like once in 2 months. And every time I meet him, he'll be like, "Kya baat ho, jab bhi tu milta, har baat tu badalta." Which is known words. He's like, bro, you've changed. Now, I'll talk about my personality because I'm the speaker. I wasn't as brave as I am today. And a small story would explain that to you all. About 2 years ago, me and my friend who was sitting right there, we were going somewhere in his car. We were driving and an auto driver did something to just push us off. He did something and I'm just shouting at him from inside the car. I'm shouting. This guy slightly rolled down the window and I just shut my mouth because I was a little scared that time. But recently, I think in September or something, me and him, the same friend, we were going somewhere and I was driving the car. And one massive truck was coming from the side and it came a little bit too close to my car. Now, could you imagine the same guy doing something? If it's a no, you're wrong. I did. I myself rolled down the window and I started shouting at him. And guess what my friend said? Bro, you changed. I feel like change is good. We change every single day. Change is good. Change is progress. Like how Yash said in KGF. Talking about Yash, he is, after KGF, he literally changed the reputation of Kannada cinema industry. Don't you all feel that? At an award function, he told, before KGF 1 released, at an award function, he said to the entire audience that I will make a film that will change the entire outlook of Kannada cinema. And there were many people who were laughing at him, something like that. I'm not sure if that was the talk, but this is my story. But you all know what happened today. He single-handedly changed the entire outlook, the way we all see, the way the world sees Kannada cinema. But there are a few films like Martin and Kabza trying really hard to bring it back down. But let's hope for Yash to get a massive comeback again. But sometimes change is not considerably good when it breaks relationships. 90% of the relationships, I don't know exactly, this is just number I know, but 90% of the relationships end because a conversation started, you've changed. They started, you've changed, and then move on to something else. So I told myself, if I'm ever in a situation like that, I will use this line once a very great man said in a movie. If you can't change the girl, change the girl. And to all you feminists out there, like, it's the same thing to you all as well. If you can't change the man, change the man. By the way, don't listen to my advice because it's like the blind leading the blind. We all change every day, every single day. And I've changed my name several times. Like a lot of times I've changed my name. And I just feel that we change every single day, and change is the only constant thing in life. Now you all must be wondering, why am I talking so much about change? Just to prove my speech title. But what you should actually be wondering is how I started the speech with a grey hoodie and ended it with a black t-shirt. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gajendra, for this intense speech. Toastmaster Gajendra reminds me of Michelangelo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He's the character who's always taking every opportunity to pull his friend's leg. And also the most humorous one. I'm sure your friends agree. I can see. I hear the side. Before I call upon the next speaker, I would like to call upon the individual evaluator, DTM U Bhat, to read the project guidelines.
Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. This project is about introduction to Toastmasters mentoring. Purpose statement says, the purpose of this project is for the member to clearly define how Toastmasters envisions mentoring. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of a previous experience as a protege. Notes to the evaluator, that's me. The member completing this project is developing an understanding of Toastmasters mentoring. And about the speech is about the time when the member was a protege. It may be from any time in their life. The member may discuss any aspect of the protege experience. The speech should not be a report on the content of the introduction to Toastmasters mentoring project. All the best to the speaker. Back to Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, DDM member. The next speaker of the day is working as a lead business analyst at CGI. She believes that every failure is an opportunity to learn from mistakes. She also wants to explore her full potential. Attempting level 2, project 1, presentation mastery. Give it up for our next speaker, Toastmaster Bindumathi, my teacher Toastmaster Bindumathi. Also, our favorite TV show is the Kapil Sharma Show.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Good evening, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. do you have all mentors in your life? Can you raise your hand? You have, right? Every walk of life. And can anyone tell me in your life who has a constant mentor? He'll be a critic, he'll be an advisor, sometimes a counselor, and he could be many more. Anybody in your life, like a constant mentor, he watches you all the time. Anyone?
Parents.
I was born in a place called Hale Kunchi. If you are Kannadiga, I would say that all are Kannadigas here, mostly. Hale means old, Kunchi means village. I was born in a place called Hale Kunchi, that is Hassan district and in Karnataka. Because of my father's dedication and hard work, he got a job in small town city and we all shifted to the city. It is vivid and I could clearly see that I was 10 years old. My father called me, Bindu, just take 100 rupees, go and buy groceries. So I just took 100 rupees. I was happy and just went into the grocery shop and I bought all the ingredients, or I would say the items, and I gave it to my father along with the balance amount. And he just called me, Bindu, come here. Did you check the balance amount? I said, yeah, he just gave 50 rupees and yeah, I'm giving you back. He said like, did you check the total against the items? I was like, no, pa, no. He said to me, go check and ask the shopkeeper that he has to give you 1 rupee, he has missed it. I was like, okay, pa, I'll just check next time. And it is just 1 rupee, appa. Why to bother so much? He was like, do you know the value of 1 rupee? A penny saved is penny earned. I'm telling you, just go back and check with him. I was so much scared because of his authoritative voice. There was no go for me, I had to go. Just to tell you guys, my father is very strict and disciplined person. As I told you, he's a school teacher. In case, if I'm not obeying his orders, there'll be a punishment. You all must be thinking like, he would take a stick and beat me up. No, he would not speak to me for a couple of days. I should go to him and say, sorry appa, I should admit my mistakes and I should tell him that I'm not going to do the mistake again. So I don't want it to take any chance. I just started going towards the shop. My heart rate started beating and I was just thinking, what if that person says that I gave you and maybe while going you missed it? Or what if he says, maybe like, you don't know the maths, you don't know how to calculate. I was thinking, should I go or not? Or like, but there was no go, I had to go. Then I went to the shopkeeper and I'll tell you, in my days, there was no computer receipt. It's just that the slip, it could be like a manuscript. Or I would say that doctor who is busy and famous doctor who writes the prescription where only the pharmacist can read and give you the correct medicine. It was just like that. And I was nervous, as I told you. Uncle, the calculation is wrong, uncle. You have to give me 1 rupee back. He took the slip and he just looked at me like this. And he said, did you check correctly? I was like, yes, uncle, not me, my father. I was nervous again. And he took that and he checked again. And he told me like, the situation was something like, I'm asking 2 kidneys of him. It was like that, just for the 1 rupee. Just again rechecked everything. And finally, he gave back 1 rupee to me. I was relieved. I felt like I have conquered the world. I proudly went to my father, just buy, take it. And what he did was, he told me, Bindu, come here. He put his arm on my shoulders and just, come, sit here. He told me like, many times we doubt ourselves and we forget that we are more capable of doing things what we think. But it is just that belief in yourself to do things. Always think in that aspect. Don't accept a failure. This is just one example I'm telling you. He is guiding me constantly. It could be something like resilience, or maybe sometimes I have a very bad health where I don't know, because he has a very good health. He is going to be 70 in couple of months. He is retired, but he still goes to a job as a headmaster in a private school. He drives his own big car without any issues. I feel him like very energetic. I think always he is a role model to me. And proudly can say that he is a parent who is also a mentor. That's where like I'm blessed, I feel, and I'm just learning more things from him. In the end, I would like to say a beautiful quote by Oprah Winfrey is, a mentor is someone who makes sure that you look at your inside, like you have a energy, or you have to believe in yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bindumathi, for the inspirational speech. Your voice and the way you took your pauses reminded me of Amy from The Big Bang Theory. After the first episode, which was filled with drama, suspense, humor, and inspiration, it's time for the fun and a spontaneous second episode, the table topic session. The table topic master for the day is an engineer by qualification, a trainer by profession, and a public speaker by passion. Our hobbies are reading and writing. Our favorite show is a Japanese show called Ocean, which is based on a real life story. With a huge round of applause, please welcome DTM Sushma.
You have knowledge. You would have learned a lot of things during your lifetime. You have excellent memory. You have a lot of stories to tell others. And you keep updating yourself about the latest information. Still, out of the blue, when someone asks you a question, your mind goes blank. You are at a loss for words. What's the use of all the knowledge, ideas, and so on? To address this challenge, for the benefit of the guests, Toastmasters has a section of the meeting called Table Topics to help you think and speak. Think on your feet and speak whatever you know. That is nothing but spontaneously responding to certain topics which I, as a table topics master, will be giving you. So, as the timer said, each speaker needs to come on stage. I'll be giving you a topic and you need to speak about it for 2 minutes. So, all the best. The first topic is what are you waiting for? How are you writing your life story? What are you waiting for? How are you writing your life story? Toastmaster Jyothi. What are you waiting for? How are you writing your life story?
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. voracious reader. I love to read books. I mean, right from, I don't remember from what age I had started. It started with Emmy Blyton, then Nancy Drew, Hardy Boys, Perry Mason, James Hadley Chase, and all the novels. So many books I have read. And one thing, after all these years, today I want to write a story. It may not be a novel or anything. A simple story, a one-page story, but alas, I cannot write. It goes on in my head, but when I try to put it on the paper, nothing comes. Maybe here from Toastmasters, learning, maybe after my retirement, I visualize myself in a place where there are not many people, the nature, silence, and myself, where I will sit and write a story which will be maybe just a page or so. And that is something which gives me so much of enthusiasm and things to look forward for, that all through the youth and middle age and all those things I've spent in whatever has to be done at a particular time. But maybe after retirement it is my time, and that is that time when I would like to write stories and tell stories to people. I look forward for that, and thank you to Tabletop Master.
Your story is definitely very inspiring and it is worth waiting for. The next topic is, I request the audience to applaud more for the speakers who come on stage, because it takes a lot of courage to come here and speak about the random topics which I am going to give. The next topic is, how do you find the strength to do what you know in your heart is right? How do you find the strength to do what you know in your heart is right? DTM and U Bhat.
Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. One thing I have learned in my 76 years of experience of life, once you are convinced that what you are doing is right in your heart, there is nothing for you to worry what are going to be the consequences. You can always take that step and say, come what may, I will do what is right. And this I have experienced or practiced many times in my life. When in office, when I was working in Mekong for more than 35 years. So one of the constant things even my junior colleagues were always telling when I was in charge of a material handling section. Sir, you always take the bull by the horn. You know what is right and you take it forward in this direction, and you take us also along with you. And what is the secret? I said the first thing is conviction. Conviction is the one thing which is absolutely required. If you think you are doing something right, first be convinced about it and go ahead with that. That will give you all the strength. Someone said about the change, someone said, I would just recollect what Mahatma Gandhi said. Be the change you want to see in the world. If you want to do something, I'll first be convinced that what you are doing is right. Unless you are convinced, you cannot convince another person, you cannot take a powerful stand. So that is one lesson which I learned from my seniors in our Bikhan, and I have been practicing it not only in the organization but in life at large. And that has helped me a lot. Back to you.
Such a powerful powerful life lesson in just 2 minutes. That's the impact of a very powerful tabletop speech. Thank you, DTM U Bhat, for the wonderful lesson shared. The next topic is do you own your things or do your things own you? Do you own your things or do your things own you? Toastmaster Chetan.
The short answer to this question is both. I own my phone, but my books own me. The books decide what I'm going to read, but my phone does not get a chance to notify me. All my notifications are muted except when the phone rings. So if you need to reach me, you need to call me. And yeah, owning stuff. The other thing that really owns me are book websites. Every time I open up Amazon or abooks.com, I fire up, look for a second-hand book that's been, a second-hand book which is probably the first edition signed by the author from the late 1800s. I grab hold of this, find out some guy who's coming to India, somehow catch hold of that person, find out in 3 months he's coming, and then finally buy that $50 book and get it shipped. So by the time I've got hold of the idea, and by the time the book actually comes home, it takes a good 6 months by the time I have lost interest in the book and everything is gone for a toss, but it still owns a big part of me and I can't do anything about it. And this is the unfortunate life cycle that I have to go through every once in a few months. And every time I know someone is coming from the United States, I take this opportunity to send a book to them so that they can bring it here. But why would I do something this stupid? Because if a book costs you $30 or $30, it costs you $80 to ship it here. So it makes no logical sense. And that's why I suffer at customs as well, right? Like when people come, they end up paying customs duty and I have to pay them for it as well. So anyways, books on me and I don't have a choice. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chetan, for the wonderful response. How many of you felt for a moment, let me go back to my book and push away my phone? Raise your hand. That's the impact your speech had on the audience, Toastmaster Chetan. Thanks for that. The next topic is, how short would your life have to be before you start living differently? How short would your life have to be before you would start living differently? Toastmasters, Saketh.
How short my life would be before things I change.
Start living differently.
Okay, to live differently. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Well, my life is so far is short that I've lived up to. And yesterday was a bit life-changing moment for me, I guess, because I went for an Air Force marathon, which is very rare for the Indian Air Force to do, which happens once a year, I guess. And usually civilians are not allowed inside the base. So I had a choice of going for a 10K or 21K. And the special thing about 21 kilometers in that marathon is that they allowed us to go to a restricted area and just to see what's around there. And to be honest, I've never done 21 and 10 was my highest. And I don't know for what joy I had or the adrenaline rush that had in me, but I chose for 21K. And I was struggling till 15 kilometers or something, and then I saw a military aircraft. And my jaw just dropped because I've never seen any military equipment except in TV shows. And I saw a flight take off, and the adrenaline rush in me to just finish the race at that point because my ankle was swollen and I couldn't jog nor run. So I had to limp and walk for 4 kilometers. But after seeing the takeoff, I'm like, let's just finish the race and You saw the moment what you waited for, and that's what changed. And I'm looking forward for more races with such, twist in the adventure. So thank you.
Age is definitely not a limit when you want to change something in your own life, when you want to live differently. Thank you, Toastmaster Saketh, for sharing your experience. The next topic is, would you rather be a worried genius or a joyful simpleton? Would you rather be a worried genius or a joyful simpleton? DTM K Prabhakara, sir.
Madam Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. I would rather be both. It's not either or. Because a genius has to be a simpleton as well. He has to say, Newton, apple fell, it fell on me also, it fell on you also. But he questioned. He questioned, simply questioned. Till that time, many things have fallen over people and nobody questioned. And at that point of time, the gravity was explained as something very, something ethereal. That it existed, nobody had explanation for it. Till he came up with calculation, formula, still rockets go up till today based on that. Though gravity as an explanation has been given differently by Einstein. But that works for GPS, let's keep it aside. But the question is, how simple are you in asking everyday questions, how things work? That makes a difference to life itself. See, for example, another Nobel laureate recently, about 10 years of Casper's scissors. One Carpentier and another lady in MIT, they really came up with Casper's scissors. The scissors is that what the kind of DNA you can correct it, and the correction, after that it is introduced, it starts working and correct the cancer itself. It has been given permission now by FDA for trying this one place, and they have introduced for the cure of a sickle cell disease. They just question, can that be a micro level Casper C? You can check that, whatever I am telling. So the question is, a genius is also a simpleton. He asks simple question, but goes after looking for solutions. So I would rather be both questioning, accepting, at the same time doing things others just simply accept. Over to table topic master.
Thank you, DTM K Prabhakara, sir. Sometimes life gives you limited choices, either or. But how do you make the most out of it by taking charge? That's what DTM AKP sir did right now. Thank you, sir. The next question is, what white lies do you often tell? What white lies do you often tell? Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. What white lies do you often tell?
Thank you, table topic master. Good evening, Toastmasters, welcome guests. I don't remember to have said white lies in my life at all. Why should I say that in the first place? When I am doing things in the right way, there is no need of saying lies at all. See, whenever I lie, I need to understand one thing. I am giving superiority to the other person which he or she doesn't deserve. There is no need of lying at all in real life also. This one principle which was taught by my mother, ingrained inside, that made me not to lie in my life at all. Even if somebody criticizes me, no problem. It is his view. He should criticize and he is criticizing me. Inside I know what is right. There is no need of giving unnecessary superiority to the other person. That's how I look at life. in totality. This made me to navigate my professional life, especially in the field of finance, in selling various financial instruments. I never lied. I gave inputs to the prospect. They bought from me. I never made them to buy at all, in a sense, sell at all. They bought it from me. This difference, even today, the first client is with me. The first client I acquired in 2003. Today it is 2024. So there is no need of lying. No need of saying white lies also. Sometimes, yes, I lost some people because being afraid. No need of saying lies. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vijay Upendra. To lie or not is a very tough question to answer, especially when you face tricky situations. It tests your character, your ethics, your value system, and so on. But Toastmaster Vijay Upendra gave a wonderful insight into the world of lies or truth. So thank you so much. The next question is, in one word, how would you describe your childhood? In one word, how would you describe your childhood, Toastmaster Jia?
Thank you, Master. I would describe my childhood in one word it's a gift. I'm very much grateful to my parents for their upbringing. Gift is just a material if you don't recognize the heart behind it. And my parents have given their 100%, their 10% in my upbringing, and I'm very much grateful to them. They have given me everything. I haven't ever asked them that I need this, I want this. They themselves have given everything. And once Buddha said, let us rise and be thankful for if you haven't learned anything in life, if you haven't learned a lot in life, then at least you have learned something. And if you haven't learned something in life, then at least you didn't get in. And if you are not well today, then at least you didn't die. So let us all rise and be thankful for whatever you have and whatever you have got. And I am very much thankful to my parents to give me such a wonderful childhood. Thank you very much.
In the complicated life that we live today, it's very important to remember your childhood and make sure that you bring out the child within you back. Thank you, Toastmaster Jia, for sharing your experiences. The next topic is, have you done anything lately worth remembering? Have you done anything lately worth remembering? Toastmaster Madhusudan.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. What have I done something worthwhile lately? Memorable lately. I haven't done much. I've actually been sidelined because of an accident and I wasn't working for the last year because I took a break. So, yeah, the memorable thing is that I picked up swimming and it's taught me a lot. It's taught me that my lung capacity is horrible, that my technique is horrible, and I need to still do more. But I guess practice makes perfect. Initially, I used to struggle to even swim 10 meters or so, but now I can do at least 100 meters in one stretch. And I feel that is memorable for me at least, because you want to look at the small gains in life, and that's pretty much what I have to say for now. On top of that, I have also joined a gym, so at least I'm making those gains finally in my life. So thank you so much.
Any positive step, even if it is a minuscule one, it is worth taking and doing it. So thank you, Toastmaster Madhusudan, for your thoughts. The next topic is what makes a person beautiful? What makes a person beautiful? This topic is for Toastmaster Bhavana.
Thank you, Veerabhadhrappa. Good evening, everyone.
What makes a person beautiful?
Okay, yeah. So yeah, being beautiful is what we all strive for, and I think there are different types of like beauty when you describe it. There, mainly maybe I can describe it in three ways. One is physical beauty, and then your mind, how beautiful your mind is, and then your heart, how kind you are. So yeah, physical beauty is something that comes through your confidence, through it's kind of like your personality shows through your through physical beauty, and then you have your mind. There's something we had a lesson, a beautiful mind, about Einstein. Yeah, so I think a beautiful mind is a mind which is curious. You look at everything like how in a child's perspective, very innocent, and then yeah, that is also the secret to being joyful in life. You need, like, if your mind is beautiful, you're curious, you're joyful, you're maybe adventurous. So that is another. That is one, and then the last one is your heart, how kind you are. Ultimately, the connections, your relationships with other people is what makes you stand out. It's how kind you are to someone, or not being judgmental, not being biased. I mean, it takes a lot of effort, because somehow our mind is kind of trained to judge other people. So yeah, that's all. So, yeah. Okay, thank you.
The definition of beauty depends on how you choose to define it. Thanks very much for the beautiful thoughts, Toastmaster Bhavana. The last topic is, do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength? Do you think crying is a sign of weakness or strength? Toastmaster Shreya.
Good evening, everybody. I think crying can be a sign of both in different situations. For example, for those of you who were there when I gave my speech about when I was accused of cheating, I was about to cry in front of my teacher, and that would have been a sign of weakness, showing her that, like I had done something wrong, but I didn't want to admit it. But, and also, like, if I'm going in an auto and I don't want to pay him as much as he's asking me, and he starts shouting at me, I would also probably cry then, which would also be a sign of weakness. But crying can also be a huge sign of strength. Crying not only means that you're sad or frustrated or angry, but it can also mean that you're happy. Like when I graduate 2 years from now, I'll probably be crying. My parents will probably be crying because they're proud of what I achieved. Or like when you feel frustrated and when you're talking to someone you feel safe with about it. Showing that emotion is also a sign of strength because that's the only way that we can work through our feelings and process what we are feeling frustrated about or sad about. So crying in front of someone can also be seen as a strength as a sign of strength. I am a very big crier. I cry like when I get intimidated a lot. Also, like me admitting this also is a sign of strength. But yeah, I think it depends on how you view crying. I know some people see it as something bad, but the more you accept it as something that's natural and something that we need in order to process our emotions, can be seen as a sign of strength or weakness. So, thank you.
Tears are too precious, so do not waste it for unnecessary situations or unnecessary people in your life. So thanks for the beautiful thoughts, Toastmaster Shreya. See, when you have a list of very interesting topics, and when you look at those topics and think, how can anyone answer this question? That's when you choose to become a table topics master. You will get a lot of beautiful responses. You can learn from it, enjoy it, and make the most of it. That's it from my end. Thank you. Over to the MC.
Thank you, DDM Sushma, for this interesting table topic session. You remind me of Monica from Friends, who always takes that extra step to make everything more than perfect. Now it's time for a 10-minute break, but come back as soon as possible because picture abhi baki hai. Welcome back. Hope everybody enjoyed this little break, perhaps more like a little advertisement between your favorite TV show. Now it's time for the third episode, which is the finale. This is the most important segment of our Toastmasters meeting, the general evaluation session. Today's general evaluator is the CEO of Loggers Business Systems India Limited. His hobbies are listening to music and traveling. His favorite TV show is the Kapil Sharma Show. With a huge round of applause, please welcome Toastmaster Prashanth.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sushma, for that Apoorva, for that good introduction. Today I came late, so I'll straight away kind of jump into prepared speech evaluation. To start with, coming to the first speaker, Toastmaster Rachana, with her speech titled Other Titanic, evaluated by Toastmaster Shreya. Toastmaster Shreya, can I have your evaluation, please?
Good evening to the Toastmasters and specifically a very good evening to my target speaker. You had a very good speech overall, and I'd like to break down your evaluation into 3 different categories. What you excelled at, what you could do better in the future, and how you can challenge yourself. So coming to what you excelled at, some places where you use your gestures and vocal variety really fit contextually in terms of your speech. So for example, some gestures you use like speeding through the river or down the middle of the river and blue skies, and where you were listing the parts of the ship or boat, and when you were listening to things that you wanted to do in New York, and when you felt overwhelmed, you did that. So all that fit really well in terms of your speech's context, Now, some places where you use vocal variety very well in context of your speech, 10 times is terrifying. And then when you were listing out the things to keep track of on the board when you were writing it for your first time alone, that also, it sounded very frantic and very tense. So that was well done. And then when you said thunk and when you said whack, very good use of vocal variety there. But one thing that I want to point out that you can do better in the future is the speech content that you had. There was a lot of opportunity for different use of body language and vocal variety there. For example, your opening and closing would have been super loud, super big, it would have been very impactful then. For example, in the ending when you said, I was no longer surviving, I was thriving, you could have done something like, so I was no longer surviving, I was thriving. And that would have been a more impactful ending to your speech. And things like when you were speaking out loud to yourself and you were asking questions, for example, how on earth did I get better? How on earth could I get better? You know, making like a gesture with your hand or thinking out loud, sounding like you're asking the question helps us also understand how you think and also what you sound like when you think, you know. And one big thing that I wanted to mention was when you were having this sort of scene of your manager sort of creeping up behind you and you not realizing, or when you didn't realize that you were approaching like a huge stone bridge, you could have built more suspense. So how could you have built more suspense in that situation? By slowing down your pacing, you know, telling the story slowly, telling it in a soft voice, and then raising your voice when you have that big reveal. A huge stone bridge in front of me. Or my manager, like you realize when he was behind you. So a big reveal then. Or you finally got your license. Finally, some things that you could challenge yourself more is use the stage. You were pretty stuck here itself. You could have used the stage better when you were going through the ship, when you were managing the parts on the ship, and incorporate some dialogue in your speech to make more opportunity to use vocal variety. So yeah, that would be all for today. Thank you and great job.
Toastmasters, Shreya, I think the evaluation was very clinical. It consisted of both good ones, and as well as some of the improvement areas that Toastmaster Rachana can work on. So I think it was very clinically observed, and from your evaluation I can clearly see that there is a great evaluator in the making. So I look forward for more evaluations from your side. So coming to the speaker, the moment I saw Toastmaster Rachana, I realized that the words in the speech will be highly enriched, and and I'm sure the grammars will be great. So it came out that way. So let's give a big round of applause both for the speaker and the evaluator. So moving on to the second speaker was Toastmaster Gajendra, and the speech titled "Change is the Only Constant," evaluated by Toastmaster Saketh. Toastmaster Saketh, can I have your evaluation?
Who I am today is because who I wasn't yesterday. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests, and my target speaker, Toastmaster Nishant, or A Gajendra, or AG Gajendra, or finally Gajendra. Well, to start off, change is the only constant. Whenever you speak behind the lectern, I feel like it's always a mini stand-up. And you have written a very beautiful speech, from the brief history of your name and how it's changed over the years, to slowly transitioning to how Kannada film industry has improved, to slowly talking about the breaks in the relationship, or finally coming to the grey hoodie to black t-shirt. And you have very good humor, from big name to big achievements and nothing achieved yet, to Kabza and Martin movies letting down the Kannada industry, and how Yash is trying to upbring the film industry. Where you can improve, and this is just a nitpick. When you were speaking and when you were transitioning, you went like, and then you transition. Maybe what you can do is, when you're done with that particular para, maybe you can slowly transition by moving your body, and then from where your friend told where you've changed to how you brought up Kannada industry with the Yash reference. Maybe you could have moved so that we could understand that okay, this section is over, I'm moving on to this. And also where you can improve is on your voice modulation. Except for the gasping part, I felt your voice felt very monotonous. So you can improve on that. And also the timing for your punchlines. I felt, especially in this one punchline, I felt very good. Big name, big achievements. Maybe if you had given a little pause, and then you would have said, I haven't achieved anything big yet. Maybe that would have been a bigger impact on the audience to understand and get the joke of it or the humor. So to summarize, where you can improve the body posture, voice modulation, and the timing of your punchline, and where you have excelled. Your speeches are like mini stand-up, beautifully structured speech, and amazing humor. Overall, change is the only constant, from grey hoodie to black t-shirt. And I'm looking forward for more speeches from you, Gajendra. Thank you.
Toastmasters Saketh able to evaluate all the relevant points, also suggested ways how speaker can improve. Both on the positive and your suggestion, I'm sure it is going to help the speaker. So I think coming to the speaker, like I would Toastmaster Gajendra, I would say that Toastmaster has a beautiful structure into it, body conclusion. So that is something you can follow the structure, and I'm sure you can be a great speaker. So please give both the evaluator and speaker a huge round of applause. So moving on to the third speaker was Toastmaster Bindumathi with a speech titled My Teacher, evaluated by DTM MU Bhat. DTM MU Bhat, can I have your evaluation?
Mr. General Evaluator, our Toastmasters, welcome guests, and Bindumathi Shivaraj in particular. Bindumathi is my. First, let me congratulate you on giving a wonderful speech, taking us on a journey of your mentoring as a protege to a mentor who is none other than your father, and a person who has that kind of rich experience, who can share knowledge, his experience and his wisdom. Who can be a better mentor than a father? And you have been blessed to that. Congratulations. And let me deal with this speech in two ways. Mainly where you did really well, which I like, and where you could have done differently. The first thing is where you excel. The first thing is your comfort level. You are very comfortable behind the lectern, what I find, except the end, which I will come to you later. And you started your speech with a rhetorical question, which definitely attracted the attention. That's something a hallmark of a good speaker. So I attract the attention. You have been successful in that. Good on that. Your body language and voice modulation was excellent. You are very comfortable to use even emoted, this position-wise. You told about your dialogue with your father in a different tone when you talked and when his father's voice came out very well, I would say. Wonderful job. Kudos to that. And now coming to where you could have probably done differently. See, this project has got two parts for everybody's benefit. Let me tell you, it is about project and the learning from that and giving a speech based on that. The first learning is about learning your mentoring. So here, not only you should learn about what is mentoring, difference between coaching and mentoring and all that, but you should exhibit in by way of your speech also that I have understood it and this is what my mentor and my father is a mentor. So how that would have come, for example, your story of the first story was simply wonderful regarding that 1 rupee change what you get. Your father, how he got into that, getting that from the trader 1 rupee back. So it was really a real lesson you learned and sense of belief in what you brought in yourself. There is something great hallmark of it, a good mentor, and your father was successful in that. But at the same time, you say he was a strict disciplinarian and sometimes giving silent treatment. These are the hallmarks of a coach. To coach a particular thing, becoming strict. So we could say that my father was not only a good coach, he was a great mentor. So he was a combined a parent, a father, a coach and a mentor. That could have probably brought that understanding. I understood what is coaching, what is mentoring, and he was both. That would have come out very well. And finally, your conclusion could have been a bit more powerful. I felt you are rather in a hurry to go. I don't know why you do the lecture. You are in control of lecture, and you took such a wonderful quotation to give. Oprah will phrase that could have come in a more powerful manner and said that my father was one such person who brought the self-belief in me. I am blessed to have a mentor like him. Anyway, congratulations for the wonderful speech. So all the best to you, and back to you, Gajendra.
So it was a clinical evaluation by TTM U Bhat on that. So coming to the speaker, Toastmaster Bindumathi, I observed that throughout your speech you were very confident. So I think you could practice more and to become a great speaker. So with that, let's give the speaker as well as the evaluator a thunderous round of applause. So now it's time for call the TAPG team for their reports. Firstly, let us call the timer for today, Toastmaster Madhusudhan.
So here are the timings that everyone took. Welcome by Sergeant at Arms. Time allocated was 2 minutes. The actual time taken was 2 minutes 47 seconds. President's address, time allotted 5 minutes and took 5 minutes 8 seconds. Introduction to Toastmaster of the evening, time allotted 1 minute, actual time taken 30 seconds. Report on the previous meeting, time allotted was 2 minutes, the time taken was 1 minute 50 seconds. When coming to the speakers for today, the first speaker, Toastmaster Rachana, took 6 minutes 8 seconds. The first evaluator, Toastmaster Shreya, she took 3 minutes 30 seconds. Second speaker, Toastmaster Gajendra, you took 6 minutes 38 seconds. The second evaluator, Toastmaster Saketh, took 3 minutes 2 seconds. The third speaker, Toastmaster Bindumathi, took 6 minutes 32 seconds, and DTM U Bhat, the third evaluator, you took 3 minutes 19 seconds. The table topics session, the time allotted was 20 minutes. It actually went on for 29 minutes, and the speakers are all listed on the board there. Coming to the break time, it was bang on 10 minutes, and the general evaluation so far has taken 16 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster Madhusudan, for that detailed report. So next, let's have a report from our accountant, Toastmaster Veerabhadhrappa.
Once again, good evening. My report on our counter is as follows. Sergeant Arms Chetan, flawless. Acting President Shiva, he has used if, one more time he has used it. If is one. Then Toastmaster of the day, Apoorva, passes 2. Timer Madhusudan, flawless. Then Grammarian Priya, pass 1. PP Evaluator Chetan, flawless. Speaker 1, Ratna, and she has used it once more. Evaluator Shreya, flawless. Speaker 2, Gajendra Gowda, something he has used it twice. Passes about 4. Evaluator speaker 2, Saketh, flawless. Speaker 3, Bindumathi, she has used it twice. Then pause 1. Evaluator speech 3, U Bhat, pause 1. Table topic speech, Sushma, flawless. Jyothi, pause 2. U Bhat, pause 1. Chetan, flawless. Saketh, once. Then and 2 times, pause 1. K Prabhakara, flawless. Vijay Upendra, flawless. Jia, themselves, she has used it twice. Madhusudan, once. And then pauses 2. Bhavana, and she has used it twice. Shreya, she has used it 1 and pause 1. Prashanth, so far has used it pause 1. That's all my report on our counter. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Veerabhadhrappa, for that detailed report. Let's give him a round of applause. Moving on to the Parliamentary Procedure Evaluator, Toastmaster Chetan. Can I have your report?
There were 3 instances of unparliamentary behavior today. The first one was the use of the word bitching. I would suggest the word gossiping instead. The second one was the word feminist. I think that can be strictly avoided. And third one was the mention of a religious figure, Buddha, which we also strictly discourage. Yeah, those are the 3 instances. Thank you.
So, thank you for that great observations, Toastmaster Chetan. So, my take on Buddha is anybody, I think, as an example, they can. I mean, I can see even Toastmaster Veerabhadhrappa quoting Basmanna. So, I think, I feel it's okay. I leave it to the thing actually. So, yeah.
May I intervene here?
Yeah, yeah.
Because your statement applies to everybody. Correction has to be applied right here and when it happens. That is when I would suggest like this. If suggestion comes, you can say that as per Indian philosophy,
Yeah.
One of the Indian philosophy, like that. You don't have to mention the person. So you have to have some kind of in this situation, a politically correct approach.
Okay.
I would rather say approach like this, saying Arab philosophy or Western philosophy or Midwest philosophy, something like that. So one of the Indian philosophy, you have to refer it indirectly.
Yeah.
So you better avoid mentioning the direct ones directly.
Okay. Thank you, DTM Prabhakara, for that clarification, and I think it makes it very clear. So now we move on to the Grammarian, Toastmaster Jia.
Once again, a very good evening. So my report goes like this. I'll start with the good usages, that is diligently, resilience, agitated, engrossed, helming, cruising, out of the blue, conviction, I fired up, limp and walk, simpleton, engraved, bang on. And not so good usages. Heart rate started beating, instead of that could have used heart rate started increasing or heart started beating. Calculations is correct, should be calculations are correct. And proudly can should be I proudly can, and a example should be an example because example is Google. So yeah, and coming to the word of the week, the only person who used was Toastmasters Rachana, so kudos to her. Yeah, thank you and bye.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jia, for that neatly crafted report. Let's have a huge round of applause for it. So now let's have 30 seconds to members to vote for the ballot shade. So now let's go to the evaluation of today's PP, table topics, master. Toastmaster DTM Sushma, I think you gave a very good introduction about your role today, and there was humor also in it, which grabbed the audience attention. So I think it's a well prepared, topics. I would say, I don't know. I was curious to know you had topics in the slips. Generally we all would, make it in a piece of paper actually, but somehow it made it very interesting to have it in the slips. Okay, so. And also, we could see that you are encouraging the audience to upload for the speakers. So that it was a sign of encouragement for speakers out here. So, and even the topics, I could see that, it had ignited a lot of ideas, like for example, writing a book and things like that. So I think it's well thought topics, and I think as you can see, most of them have spoken for more than a minute actually. So that shows that audience, the speakers were comfortable and all that. So I think fantastic table topic session today. So let's give a huge round of applause for DTM Sushma. Last but not the least, our master of ceremonies. I think it had a lot of humor. Okay, so I think starting with the theme, it was, as the theme says, it's very entertaining, so it brought a lot of enthusiasm among the audience actually. So, well prepared, you kind of had already, various shows that each of the speakers were very much interested in or liked about. Okay. So one suggestion if I have to make is that maybe some more time on the practice can really help you. I think you are just in the initial time of taking up this role. So I think more practice and frequently taking up this role can kind of make it very seamless. So if that if not. Other than that, everything was great. Let's give a huge round of applause. So, overall, I would say, a great meeting with almost 3 speeches today and a great table topic session. So I kind of thoroughly enjoyed this session, and amazing feedback by evaluators. So with that, I handed over the charge to the MC.
TV shows are a great influence on our minds. Without our knowledge, in this process, we are getting so engrossed that we are forgetting the difference between the real and the real. Just like my mate the other day. Let's remember, a pinch of entertainment is good, but anything in excess is bad. Balance is the key. Thank you, and on that note, I would hand over the charge over to the President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Apoorva. That was a very, very creative meeting that you've conducted today. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And the highlight of today's meeting, in my opinion, were our 3 prepared speakers. A lot of effort went behind those speeches you could make out thoroughly. And if our meeting were a TV show, I'd just like to let everybody know that we release an episode every week on YouTube. The entire meeting is put there. You can watch it. The link will be provided to you if you are interested. So, getting into the winners of today's meeting, I have received 18 responses. Starting with the best role taker for TAPG, that is timer, R counter, TP and Trigger. Okay, so we have a very reliable person in our timer today, and also Toastmaster Veerabhadhrappa debuting as the R counter. It goes to Toastmaster Madhusudan and Toastmaster Veerabhadhrappa. Best role taker MTG. Okay. An extremely thought-provoking table topic session today, and I haven't seen something like this in quite some time. And also a very, very creative, highly integrated theme about TV shows in our meeting today. So again, a tie. It is between our Master of Ceremonies and our table topics master, Toastmaster Apoorva and DTM Sushma. And the best table topic speaker. Wow, would you believe it? Okay. Would you rather be a genius or a simpleton? We'd rather be both. What a brilliant answer. And at the same time, somebody who's turning his life around, running one marathon at a time. So it goes to DTM, K Prabhakara and Toastmasters Saketh. And the best evaluator for today. This is unbelievable. Okay. To someone, both are evaluators, both the people who won the best evaluator ribbon today have given their first few evaluations, but I'm glad they've done a thorough job today as well. So it goes to Toastmasters Shreya and Toastmasters Saketh.
Wednesday.
Yeah, right.
Best speaker. Okay. We have a proper winner here. Three amazing speeches, as I mentioned. One of our guest speakers as well has given a wonderful speech about her mentor. And of course, the other speech had his name written all over it. But the winner for today's best speaker is the Titanic that hasn't sunk. Congratulations to all our winners, and one request to all our role takers is to please be here on time so that we can start the meeting well on time, especially if you have taken a role like MC or GE, because the meeting rests on your shoulders on that particular day. And this is not meant only for Toastmaster Prashanth, for anybody taking up roles in the future as well. With that, I request all our members to continue networking downstairs once we're done here, and I close meeting number 1288.